Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks, and this is now day 15 of our 180-day live stream challenge for AI Agents.box. And this is our office hours. And I'm going to go through here on my screen is the Google Docs. And this Google Docs is linked wherever that you're watching this broadcast or live stream. And it's a very tab heavy. You can see all these tabs. I'm actually going to collapse some of these. This is the home tab. This is where you can, if you want, do a deeper dive as far as this 180-day live stream challenge that we're talking about. Doing some really exciting things, teams, but right now this is a progress office hours. So what we're going to do here, I'm setting this up with different weeks. This is the first day of 2025, week 4. So I'm actually going to add a subtab, and we're going to put a little emoji here to identify that this is the third week of our 25-week sprint of our marathon 180 days, and we're going to duplicate this tab here. And this is one of the things that I'm not sure how much agency going to add to this sort of workflow, because this is something that, again, we're really got pretty well templated right now. So anyway, this is rename this tab. This is day 15. And what was I, day 15, rename. And this is January 20th January 2025. And let's throw in our thumbnail here real quick. And this is just one of the ways, again, I'm not sure how much, but one of the things that I understand from Ernest, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to join us here this evening, but it sounds like that the AI agents do a great job reading stuff within the Google Docs. So let me rename this week tab here to 2025 week 04, and we're going to move this into a subtab. So here's our agenda, and this is an office hours. So before I go down to our office hours agenda, I'm going to talk about our FELG culture. Absolutely love fun, earning, learning, and giving, and that's something that we'll continue to talk about throughout our conversations. And as you can see here, don't have anything in the agenda, but that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of stuff to do. And another tab that we have open, we might work on the pitch deck a little bit for myira.fun, but one of the things that we will do real quick is take a look at aiagents.box over here, or aiagentsbox.org rather, and it goes to our link tree. So let's take a look at our events calendar. So this is where that you can stay apprised of all the happenings, and you can see right here is the event that we're on right now. And this is, I'm really excited about this workflow automation tools conversation that we're going to be having coming up here on Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure that you RSVP to that, because that's where I'm looking to get a lot of good value from an automation standpoint. So anyway, one of the things that was wanting to do during this office hours, and before I start there, I just wanted to take a pause real quick and see if you had any questions, I am Lotus, about where we're at in this process that we can talk about before we start rolling our sleeves up and doing some things on our office hours.
I'm good.
All righty. So one of the things that we've been working on is getting our member onboarding process dialed in for AI agents.box. So here's our Telegram, and this is something that I continue to work on here. And let's see, I'm going to scroll back here. I might have to scroll back a little bit because this has been a pretty chatty channel here. And want to amplify and congratulate Ernest is doing some pretty cool things surrounding the ideation of our mechanical cupcakes. So really excited to turn that into an AI agents brand that we're launching here through our ecosystem. But let's take a look here. Checkout. So this is one of the things that was talking about. So I actually had this in the on-chain ambassadors. So I'm going to click on this link. This is for me to use to onboard, and this is one of the things that going to create some better workflow. This is a link that we will likely have in a blog post. So I'm here on Yonks .eth, and I'm currently using MetaMask, and I'm going to switch this over to Base. We created our smart contract, our founding member smart contract the other day on Base, and I need $7 USD. So you can see here I've got 28 USDC and plenty of Ethereum on Base. So we're going to see if this checkout URL works. And before we do that, I'm actually going to, one of the other things that we were working on was the splits. Splits.org for doing our two-tier affiliate program. And let me see if I still have that window open for the one that configured for this. So let's see, splits, and it might be in a different profile. So let me check the AIagents.box profile. So I think this is it here. So this is the splits that we're looking to do. This is one since Yonk's team is at the founding on-chain ambassador. This is the safe smart contract for safe.yonksteam.eth. I was trying to get the ENS updated. I'm going to do a refresh on this real quick. And I'm not sure if there's something else. I think that I didn't have enough transact anyway. Um, I don't know if this will update using the ENS. Anyway, that's a cosmetic thing, not a functional thing. So let's go ahead. I'm going to click on next. So this is step one. I'm going to click on it looks like it's already highlighted. Next, we're going to use MetaMask for doing this. And there's an opportunity of doing other workflow. Connect with MetaMask, connect. Yeah, that looks fine. And Unlock Protocol, we've been using Unlock Protocol for years to represent proof of membership on chain. So let's see here. The wallet that will receive the pass. Um, oh, I don't want. I'm just going to copy my wallet because I want this to go into my wallet. And I'm going to pull this off screen real quick to add my email address because I don't want my email address on here for the world. Let's see. Okay, so bringing this back on screen, we are now on step 4. So it says pay with USDC, and then pay using crypto. And this should be where it pulls open the transaction. Spender AIagents.box, spinning cap 7 USDC. That all looks great. Transaction failed. I'm not sure why the transaction failed. So let me try that again. And this is something too that Ernest was getting using the same thing. So this is something that I'm going to have to take offline. It's not really giving me any errors of why the transaction failed. So I'll follow up with Unlock Protocol and see what the challenge is with this. And who knows, that's something, again, we'll follow up with them on. So this will provide a good reference point of me going through that. And again, we'll work on that. And this is one of the reasons that we may abstract away and bring this functionality in-house where it's not being done on chain and do the workflow automation behind the scenes. So I'm going to add this as a talking point over here. So Yonks attempted to check out using um, unlock protocol, and this is something that Ernest was getting also, and received a transaction failed error. All right, so timestamp here for we're now at 32 minutes past the hour. So, taking a look at some things that we need to get done. So, this is something that I would love some feedback. Did we talk about this launch phases slide in our previous working group, I Am Lotus?
I think we did.
So, now that if we did, and now that you've had, do you have anything that that you think that we need to add to this? I'm not seeing a mic open up, so I will take that as a no. So that's one of the other things going to work on here is getting this slide deck done. Hoping to pitch
So
this coming
I
up. Go
have
ahead.
a question.
Yes, yes.
Why is the price on the beta different?
Okay, so that's a great question. So this is, you think about the alpha phase. The big difference between the alpha phase is that this is a lifetime. You pay that once, and then you pay no more.
Uh-huh.
So we're creating a huge value. Imagine having this service for 20 years and you pay a one-time lifetime price. We're giving a huge benefit compared to $97 a year. You think about what I just mentioned there, 20 years. $100, 20 years, that's $2,000. Whereas here, 197 lifetime.
Yeah, but the launch is 197 per year?
Yeah, so this is something that we believe that, and this is one of the things, the reason that I put in here to be determined is that I don't know what the cost is going to be from an infrastructure for us to provide my IRA agency, which is functionally what we're going to be calling, or the tech behind myra.fund. So, like, this is something that don't know because what happens is that these agents, one of the things that is different about agents versus just interacting with chatbots like via chat GPT is that agents have memory. So it requires compute. So instead of just engaging directly through a web interface, we're going to be deploying Commute to fulfill my IRA agency through myira.fund. So yeah, we're wanting to create a benefit for the early adopters here in the alpha phase and the beta phase. And remember, limiting this to 100 members in the alpha phase and the next 1,000 members in the beta phase. So we really believe that myira.fund, and keep in mind, in the United States, there's 65 million, almost, individual retirement arrangements. So, talking about chipping away some of the market share over time, and one of the things that we're wanting to create through ilocal.fyi. And if we get enough scale, we may be able to like lower this price. That's why it's a TBD. And that's why it's a TBD here. The 197 lifetime, like that's something that I'm really excited about because, here in a world of having subscription services, and that's one of the reasons that we're limiting that just to the first 100 members because we're really wanting to use this alpha phase to really get our my IRA agency dialed in that we're going to be providing my IRA fund. So does that answer the pricing question for you?
What benefit do they get for being a member? Is my question too.
So this is where we're going to be deploying in every phase of my IRA agency. And this is where this product is going to get better and better over time. So they're going to get their own my IRA agency that they own, whether it's in a cloud environment or in a self-hosted environment. And we likely won't even have the self-hosted environment maybe over here till phase 3 because we really believe that most people are going to want a cloud environment. It's for really the nerds and the geeks and the privacy concerned individuals that would want a self-hosted My IRA agency instead of a cloud-hosted My IRA agency. So that's one of the things that we're going to architect through our office hours conversations, our working groups to launch here. I have no idea how long it's going to take us to go from phase zero. And it's going to be these 100 members that collectively vote through our cooperative ownership governance that we're going to be creating to say, hey, it's time to flip the switch. We're ready to launch the beta phase. And then it's going to be these 1,100 members from the alpha phase and the beta phase that says, hey, this is an amazing UX UI. It's time to launch.
I don't think that answered my question.
So I mean, we can get into the weeds a little bit. Like one of the things that was talking about over here on My IRA agency. My IRA agency is
Does
trying to.
does the member uh get money for the AI agents we launch, or they're there so they can manage their own IRAs?
So my IRA fund is a service that fulfills the self-directed IRA or checkbook IRA. Those are self-directed IRA or checkbook IRA is the category of what we're looking to offer. So we're creating a self-managed individual retirement arrangement through my IRA fund. And the tech that we're calling that is my IRA agency. This is going to be like one of the things that we're looking to implement, planning to implement,
Is
intend to. And go ahead.
that better than the tried fi charges that they're charging?
Yeah, so
Here's
let me
the
talk
benefit.
about um, Tyler and I, and I'm going to open this in a incognito window here. So Tyler and I have an account at Alto IRA. We moved $100,000 from Schwab into Alto IRA in August of 2022. Last month in December, we swapped one Bitcoin and on the back end, so this is the product that we have, Alto IRA. And what that does is it provides access to Coinbase, the centralized exchange on the back end. And this has a 1% transaction fee that's opposed on the buy side and the sell side. So, like one of the transactions that we did through our Alto IRA account in December was we functionally did one swap for one Bitcoin when Bitcoin was over 100K. So you think about 1% of 100K, that's $1,000. And then we bought the same for XRP, and that again was about 100,000, another 1%. So that one transaction swapping one Bitcoin for XRP. And the reason that we did that, we are want to long term hold Bitcoin in another account unchained. We have an account here, but we haven't put our Bitcoin here. One of the reasons that we want Bitcoin and here is that we can self custody Bitcoin and it not be custodied by custodian. I like the idea of having self custody of Bitcoin compared to Coinbase having custody of our Bitcoin. So that was one of the reasons. But now that we're wanting to potentially do more from a portfolio diversification strategy in 2025, we don't want to get whacked a 1% transaction fee. We want more access to DeFi because this doesn't provide access to DeFi. This only provides access to Coinbase, the central exchange. We want access to DeFi via whatever that we want through our self-directed IRA, checkbook IRA. So this product, my IRA.fund, as a product that we're creating for ourselves so that we can have more access to DeFi through our individual retirement arrangement.
Yeah, For the people that are paying monthly, you're withholding the 1% transaction fee. Like you said, there's no fee when they.
So we're not an exchange. We're not like through my IRA dot fund. We're not planning to be an exchange. We're planning to be a technology platform that allows people to self-manage, self-direct their own individual retirement arrangement through this my IRA agency that we're going to build. So like one of the early partners that we're wanting to get conversations started with is with Aerodrome Finance. We're building on Aerodrome Finance is the largest DEX, decentralized exchange on Base. And just being able to do swaps on Base should be far less expensive than using over here the Alto IRA that we have used. And one of the things that Tyler and I are planning to do is to itemize over the last 2.5 years that we've had our Alto IRA account, how much that we've spent in transaction fees. Because one of the things that's happened is that transaction fees have been mitigated a lot, like Robinhood. Robinhood has been immensely successful for adding more access for Main Street to Wall Street. So something like that we're wanting to do is we're wanting to add more access to DeFi through IRA agents that we're building here through my IRA fund. Because like right now, a lot of the people that are largely playing in DeFi probably aren't doing it through an individual retirement arrangement account, one of the best tax shields that exists here in the United States, because you just don't get great access to DeFi. And this is another slide that planning to create within our slide deck, talking about the existing solutions that are available. Alto IRA has been great, and I mean, I'm not gonna like I'm very blessed that we made the transition into Alto IRA because it provided access to cryptocurrency that the exited administration, Biden administration, put up ferocious walls, leveraged the full force of the federal government to really limit the proliferation of on-chain technology here in the United States over the last 4 years. And I'm not even going to go down some of those rabbit holes, but there's a lot of things that Coinbase, the company, is moving forward through their legal department to unpack some of the overreach that the federal government did to limit uh, things for proliferating. So this is, I believe, my IRA fund is the right service at the right time, and then leaning into AI agents and really. I have mentioned and will continue to mention that time speed to market is very very important here because I'm operating with the belief that whoever gets early movers advantage by creating a network effect through well thought out and well designed agentic AI frameworks will have an unfair competitive advantage that other people may not be able to catch up with. So anyway, does that do a little bit better job understanding like what we're wanting to create with my IRA dot fund?
I understand what we're trying to do. I just want to make sure that when people compare, that we're actually have an advantage over them just converting that.
There's no one else right now that's bringing AI
No,
agents to the
I,
IRA
I'm
space.
not. I'm not comparing the decentralized over. I'm thinking those even those Web3 people have tried TradFi investments, right? Some of them RAs. are in TradFi. And in order for them to say, okay, let me move my money like you and Tyler did, uh, I just want to see how I'm gonna explain it to them. Is my basically my
So
question.
you're not gonna have to explain it to anyone. We're gonna create a user journey here where that's gonna happen where I am Lotus, won't have to explain anything to anyone. We're gonna create templated things. And one of the things that we will likely do is create a webinar. And this is something that we're going to really be intentional about on-chain ambassadors is creating and amplifying proven methodologies, whether it's a slide deck or whether it's a video, like right here, we're talking about a slide deck, like using technology to do the explanation so that you as a person doesn't have to explain something yourself. That's kind of the goal. And then
Is
we're
there,
also going to create community infrastructure. And this would probably be maybe a good segue to because one of
is
the things for AI agents that we
like
haven't done yet. Go ahead.
isn't there like a limit to what how much you can put in your IRA every year?
Yeah, so let's do a real quick Google search because this that's a great question. 2025 IRA contribution limits. So doing a quick Google search for let's do Roth IRA. I think it's $7,000, but looking here at TIA, under 50 you can contribute 7,000, 50 and older you can contribute 8,000. And this is new contribution limits. So like when you just do a real quick like let's talk about 100,000 times just let's just call it $5,000. So just doing a simple thousand so if we onboard 100,000 people and they only do $5,000, that's a half a billion total value locked through my IRA agency. And it's not the number here, like, because the average individual retirement account is 195,000. That's why I'm using 5,000. One of the beliefs that I'm operating under is that a lot of people that have crypto bro money probably don't have that much in individual retirement accounts. So crypto bro money, this is who that we're targeting in phase zero of our launch strategy. And that's one of the things, just looking at our teams, my IRA fund, since that's what we're talking about right now, our phase zero, and you can see highlighted here in pink. This phase is designed for Web3 natives, and this is also something, even phase zero, we also have the bullet point for Web3 natives. It's not until we get over to the launch phase after we've already onboarded the first 100 members in the alpha phase and the next 1,000 members in the beta phase. It's not until we're really over here to the launch phase till we're really wanting to create a product, my IRA fund, my IRA agency for normal people. And that's why I have this highlighted over here or bold, amazing user experience, user interface.
Yeah, so if there is a limit to what they can put in their IRA and we're charging them 197 a month.
It's not a month. That's like
And
here, this is a
oh,
lifetime.
per year.
And
Okay.
well, and in the
I got
alpha,
confused. I got confused. I thought it was a month. I was like, that's
yeah,
all.
no. That would be really expensive. No,
I know. I was
absolutely.
like, what's the benefit? Okay, that is my bad. I'm so sorry. Uh,
Hey, no, like, and now it clicked for you. And like looking over here, like, let's go back to Alto IRA. So let's see, resources, FAQs. So let's go to the FAQs, frequently asked questions for Alto IRA. And let's scroll down here because I'm sure that this is something that is asked or answered. Let's see.
For a year, that's a good deal. Why am I thinking it's a month? What is in my head?
Hey, like no, it's let's see. Let me just do a search here. Cost. What does investing with a self-directed IRA offered by Alto IRA cost? So let's take a look. Let's make this bigger here. And let's actually just go to their pricing because this is something again. Um, Pricing. So scrolling down here, Alto IRA, crypto IRA fees. So custody fee 0, trade fee 1%. And this is really where we're getting whacked on the cost is on the 1%. And if you've got a $5,000 account and you're just wanting access to Coinbase through that and you're wanting to just buy and hold, then this is great. But like again, we're wanting access to DeFi, there's tokens that would like to buy in trad or in DeFi that we don't have access to because they're not listed on Coinbase Exchange. And then this 1%, I already mentioned, just one trade that we did in December literally cost us $2,000. And you go back here, like, at $197 a year, that would be 10 years worth of services that we spent for one transaction. We did a lot more transactions in 2024 than just that one. And that's where I want to itemize what it cost us. Because again, like we're creating this product for people like us, but then over here, we're wanting to really create this for everyone because we're really wanting to onboard more people into and help educate them because that's one of the challenges we believe why, and let me go back to this slide right here. TradFi plus IRAs equals the poo emoji. And this is one of the things that because of how that they're structured, they can't really provide that much education. And that's one of the things that we're really wanting to do through an ecosystem at large. Maybe not necessarily directly through my IRA.fund, but through our larger ecosystem, we're going to be having conversations about becoming smarter with your money and just providing more options for people. And that's the whole goal with my IRA.fund because we largely believe that most of the assets that are held in individual retirement arrangements are largely being held captive by traditional finance that is failing miserably at providing education to the masses. And some companies do better than others, but this is really where iLocal, a global movement for fostering local community and cooperative ownership using on-chain technology. That's one of the reasons that it is I think, a great sister organization within our ecosystem. So great questions. I'm glad that you got some clarity on that. So now you can be a lot more excited, I am Lotus, about what we're building here with my IRA.fund now that you understand the big value proposition that we're creating. And who knows, like depending on what we do with iLocal FYI and how much traction that we get, we may be able to reduce this cost where it's not $197 a year. Because I don't know what I think that this is a fair price, but I don't know what the cost of the technology to deploy my IRA agency at scale is going to look like. Because the memory component of AI agents is an unknown because we're still very early for deploying AI agents in production. And this is absolutely deploying AI agents in a production environment. And this is one of the things, too, that's probably worth mentioning. We're not really expecting to have the real like automated stuff over here until we're in the launch phase, but that's something that we will continue to experiment here during alpha and beta phase. And that's why we're calling them an alpha and beta because we're still going to be in pre launch. So Timeline? No idea. I think that this is a great timing for a right product fit at the right time in the market with everything where it's at. But anyway, what other questions do you have? I am Lotus before we bring this office hours to a wrap tonight.
You've answered it. I accidentally just thought it was a monthly fee. I was like, oh, that's a bit expensive.
Well, and remember how we talked about the streaming thing?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We probably won't do the streaming over here for alpha phase or beta phase, but thinking about like making it easier for people to onboard, setting up a streaming service where you don't have to pay $197 up front will be a lot easier. So this is me just thinking out loud that we'll probably enable this $197 a year to be done on a streaming service instead of somebody just paying up front. That'll reduce the friction up front because then somebody won't have to come out of pocket $197 in their wallet to get started.
Here, looking forward to the deregulation of the regulation on cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and talking about regulation, one of the things that I'm most excited about, this is already something that we are road mapping, is our own stablecoin. And I'm just going to go here real quick to our stablecoin page. This is for 3Win USD, but gonna bifurcate this a little bit for instead of it being 3Win USD, it will likely be we own and then a Christ stablecoin. So we will likely create two ecosystem stablecoins, one for the we own network and then another for Christ network. But this is something that also expecting whether it'll be quarter 1 of 2025 that the US legislation passes the stable coin. That's kind of what my belief is. If it doesn't happen in quarter 1, I would be shocked if it doesn't happen here in quarter 2 because that's the most important legislation. And then there's also the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, but that's a different conversation than stablecoin. And we're planning to create our own ecosystem stablecoin to amplify our abilities to bring cooperative ownership using on-chain technology to the masses.
Let's go.
Day 15, 180-day challenge. This is our sprint marathon. I'm going to stop the screen share here. Um, Always love hanging out here with you. I am Lotus. Many conversations will be happening here in the next 6 months, less than 6 months, since we're already at January 20th. But very excited, as I've said, and will continue to say, as a lifetime technologist, I've never been more excited about a technology evolution than what I'm seeing unfold here with AI agents and with our ability to bring ownership using on-chain technology to AI agency is very, very exciting.
Indeed, indeed.
All right. Well, until next time, we'll be back tomorrow, 6 Eastern, and then again at 11 Eastern, I believe. I don't have the events on Luma, but I'll put an announcement on Telegram when we get those created. And wherever you're listening, make sure that you click on the subscribe button here. Exciting things. And again, this is just to amplify building on a choose your own adventure. So if you want to join the fun, earning, learning, and giving is the culture that we're building here within our ecosystem. Until next time, everybody.
Night, guys.